This story all takes place back in 1971 when I was about 7 years old and my brother George was about 5 years old, and we were stuck at Huletts on a rainy Halloween. Frank was just born. He was crying. We wanted to stay out on the porch. There was nowhere to go trick-or-treating. We were complaining about how there was nowhere at Huletts where we could even go trick-or-treating. Nobody was around. They'd all left on Columbus Day. And I was trying to tease George and scare him about how he should go trick-or-treating at Mrs. Phillips' house. So anyhow, I went in the kitchen, and these Whitehall kids came up to our house in the back of a station wagon. There were about 3 of them, Marshall and somebody named Susie and another boy named Bob. And they came to our house, and George was out there. He gave him some candy. He was just a little kid. And the kids said, "Is there anywhere else at Huletts that we could get candy or go trick-or-treating?" So George says, "Why don't you go to Irene Phillips' house?" Now, they didn't know Irene Phillips was like a crazy old lady who lived with sheep and cats in an old haunted house. Nobody ever went up to her house. But they said thanks, and they went up trick-or-treating. And when I came out, George was laughing and laughing on the porch. I said, "What are you laughing about?" He said, "It's because I told those kids to go to Mrs. Phillips' house." So we thought nothing more of it, but a couple days later, it came in the Whitehall Times that those kids had gone missing. No one knew where they were. We didn't want to tell them. We'd sent them up to old Mrs. Phillips' house. But that night, it was All Saints' Day. Or maybe All Souls' Day. I always get those confused. But anyhow, the kids go up to that house, and they were never seen again. So we, George and me, sneak up there with Kenny Page, and we look in the window of Mrs. Phillips' house, and we hear the cats, and we see their trick-or-treat masks of those 3 kids taped up in the window.
That's spooky.